I bought this miniature sewing room dollhouse kit from Temu for only $6, and today I'm building it from start to finish to answer two questions. One, is it easy to build? And two, is the quality actually good for the price? As someone who has built quite a few miniature kits, I'm always curious whether these ultra budget kits are hidden gems or cheap disappointments. My name is Marie, and welcome to my channel, Notorious Crafts. This adorable sewing room also makes the perfect gift for anyone who loves sewing, quilting, or crafting. If you don't want to wait the typical 2 to 3 weeks for Temu shipping, I also noticed this kit is available on Amazon. This kit does not include glue, and many of you recommended Aleene's tacky glue in my comments in a previous video, and that's exactly what I use. This is why I love your comments. You guys always have great tips and tricks. Before starting any miniature kit, take a few minutes to inventory all the pieces. Trust me, there's nothing worse than spending hours building tiny furniture only to discover you're missing an important piece at the end. The first step is punching out all of the wood pieces from the laser cut sheets. For smaller pieces, I highly recommend using an X-Acto knife rather than forcing them out by hand. This helps prevent the thin wood from splitting or breaking. After removing the pieces, I lightly sanded the edges using the included sandpaper to remove any rough spots. Next, I assembled the base. Be careful to pay attention to the numbers printed on the wooden pieces. Some sections look nearly identical, but are actually different lengths. Once the frame was assembled, I glued down the printed flooring paper using tacky glue and attached it to the rest of the base structure. The walls were very easy to assemble, and I always go back to the reference photo to make sure I am doing everything correctly. I used an X-Acto knife to cut out the window opening because it's much easier than trying to maneuver scissors around the tiny corners and curves. The wallpaper pieces were cut out with regular scissors. I attached the wallpaper to the wooden walls using glue, and then after the glue dried, I glued the walls into place. I did have to hold the two walls together for about a minute so that they wouldn't fall over. One thing I found strange was that the instructions wanted me to cover the exposed wood surfaces with paper that looks like wood. Why would I want to cover natural wood with paper that looks like it? So I ended up skipping that step since I think the natural wood looks much better than faux wood paper. Next came what felt like an endless session of cutting out miniature paper accessories. The kit includes tiny boxes, picture frames, labels, and decorative pieces that all need to be cut out, folded, and glued. Precision is important here. Small inaccuracies become very noticeable when working at miniature scale. I like using small detail scissors with fine tips because they make cleaner cuts and are easier to control. One issue I ran into involved the cardstock. The instructions have you glue some of the printed paper pieces onto thicker cardstock before cutting them out. Unfortunately, the cardstock has a glossy finish and several pieces started peeling away after the glue dried. I also ran into some difficulties with the round boxes. There were some gaps after attaching the lid, but once it was on top of the cabinet, it wasn't as noticeable. One of my favorite parts of this build was creating tiny perfume bottles. The miniature bottles are made using beads included in the kit, which was surprisingly clever. Once assembled, they looked incredibly cute. Making all of the tiny cabinet accessories took up the most time, but I did find this to be the most relaxing and my most enjoyable part of this build. All of the printed miniatures turned out really nice, and the quality of the paper was good too. It was fairly sturdy. It was thinner than cardstock, but thicker than regular paper, and it had a nice glossy finish. This kit does heavily rely on their paper printables for the details. Like this basket has a printed wicker design. It would have been nice if they used wood pieces to create some baskets instead of all the baskets being made from paper. I do like that they have us hiding the edge of the paper basket using the ribbon. And adding some fabric pieces inside of the basket also helped disguise that this was made using paper. After finishing the accessories, I moved on to the main cabinet. The cabinet is made from wood and painted a beautiful pastel yellow color. If yellow isn't your thing, you could easily repaint it to match your own style. I usually love customizing my kits, but this color fit the sewing room theme perfectly, so I decided to leave it alone. While the glue was drying, I moved on to making the chair. The chair was very easy to build, but I did have to hold the top part of the chair because it did like to top over, so I do recommend holding that part for about a minute. Once the cabinet was assembled, I added all the decorative items to the shelves. I did make a few adjustments compared to the reference photo because some pieces didn't fit quite the way the instructions showed, and that could have been on me. Maybe I made things slightly bigger than they should have. At the end of the day, nothing is set in stone. You have free will. Change up the design, change up the whole layout, do whatever you want. You know that part can be frustrating with these Temu kits when things aren't going according to the instructions or things aren't matching the reference photos, but make the most of it. This was only a $6 kit. Next, I built the wall lamp, and this had actual working electrical and it will light up. The instructions wanted me to cut out a circle from this gold piece of paper and then glue it on top of the wood base. But I have gold paint, so I would rather paint the wood base with gold paint, and it'll look a lot better than gluing a piece of paper that I know I will not be able to cut out a perfect circle. While the paint was drying, I moved on to some of the other steps in the instructions. I made some more accessories and then I moved on to the desk. And of course, the instructions wanted me to cover this beautiful natural wood with paper that is in the same color as the wood. And it actually had some dashed lines that would show up after I would glue it on. So, of course, I decided to skip the step of gluing the paper on the desk. You also have the option of painting the desk any color that you want. Next came the star of the room, the sewing machine. This was one of the more creative parts of the kit because it's constructed from several jewelry making components and beads. It's always fun seeing the transformation of ordinary craft supplies into realistic tiny objects. Once assembled, it was instantly recognizable as a sewing machine and became one of my favorite details in the room. I had one last basket to put together, and this one was nice because it had a lot of fabric and lace, and then I put some of the accessories inside it. Next, I made the mirror, but a lot of the silver paper to make the mirror was damaged because this set came in a bag instead of a box, so a lot of the components rubbed together during shipment. The room is really starting to come together as I start gluing all of these pieces down. I did end up modifying this wall lamp. The instructions wanted me to cut out a piece of metal wire and then attach the lamp, but it just was not working, and this bead was not gluing on properly onto that wire, so I ended up just gluing the lamp directly into the wood base. I had one more lamp to make, but this one did not light up. I love the idea of using beads to create miniature lamps. From making this kit, I got some great ideas of other miniatures that I can make using simple components like beads. I painted some of the exposed wire with the same gold paint that I used to paint the wood base. The final pieces were the fabric accessories because it's not a sewing room unless fabric is flying everywhere. One piece of fabric is arranged under the sewing machine to look like an in progress sewing project, which adds a nice realistic touch to the room. The very last miniature project was creating a tiny dress. This really reminds me of a ballerina tutu dress with all of the tulle and lace. Seeing the finished dress hanging in the sewing room really tied the whole theme together. Very last step of this project was the electrical. Now, I was really intimidated by this. I usually am, but it was very easy to follow the instructions. All I had to do was just connect these two wires together, wrap them around, and then tape them. Also, batteries were not included, so I did have to buy those separately. I paid about or $5 for the batteries, which puts this kit at over $10 for the finished product. Now, before the final reveal, I even painted my nails in a sewing inspired design to match the miniature room. Should I start doing themed nail art for all of my dollhouse projects? Let me know. Here's the finished sewing room, and honestly, I'm impressed. For only $6, this kit offers a surprising amount of detail and provides several hours of enjoyable building time. Overall, I would consider this an easy beginner friendly build. Most of the assembly is straightforward and the instructions are generally easy to follow. The most challenging part was definitely the wall lamp. I struggled to get the pieces to stay together and ended up modifying the design slightly to make it work. There's also a few moments where the instructions felt unclear, but whenever I got stuck, I was able to figure things out by looking closely at the reference photos. For quality, I think this kit delivers excellent value for the price. The furniture, accessories, and decorative details are surprisingly charming considering the low cost. My biggest complaint is the use of faux wood paper coverings. The natural wood pieces already look nice, and covering them with paper that imitates wood feels unnecessary. Leaving the wood exposed or painting it creates a much nicer finish. Just keep in mind that you'll need to provide your own glue and batteries, and if you enjoy customizing miniatures, you may also want to have some paint on hand. For easy to build, I give this a 4 out of 5, and for quality for the price, I give it a 5 out of 5. So would I recommend it? Absolutely. For only $6, this Temu Sewing Room kit is a fun, affordable miniature project that's perfect for beginners, crafters, or anyone who loves tiny details. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, it's a miniature world after all.